So now that you've shot your film, you need to get it from the canister into the developing tank without exposing it to any light. Okay, so this process all happens inside of this black bag, but I'm going to show you what it looks like outside of the black bag first so you can see all the steps. Okay, the first step is to make sure you have all of your materials. You'll need your film canister, and you'll need all of the parts of the developing tank. So that's a lid, a funnel, reels, a core, and then of course the tank itself. Okay, so the first thing you do is you put all of your materials inside of your black bag, okay? I'm going to not demonstrate that for you quite yet. I'm just going to show you what all of this looks like without being in the bag. First thing that you do is you open your film canister. It has a little top that looks like this. Twist it and it comes off like this. Then you pull the core out and your film should be taped onto the core. So you will either need to cut the tape off or just kind of rip it like this. Okay, now the next step is to get this roll of film onto one of these reels. Okay, the reels, if you look, they have this little tiny edge that sticks out right here. Okay, we're going to call this the Mickey Mouse ears or the bunny ears, whatever you feel like. But they do stick out, and this is something that you're going to need to pay attention to. Okay, so your film has two edges. It has an edge that is more flat and an edge that is cut on a curve. You want to feed the flatter edge under those ears, but over top of this little silver ball bearing. Okay, so you've got to first push it on, and then you hold it and you start cranking it like this until it all goes on. This is the trickiest part to do while it's inside the bag because you cannot see what you're doing. You just have to kind of feel. If you hear crunching noises on your film, that means something is going wrong and you'll probably need to try again. Okay, so once you have your film all on the reel, you're going to put it onto the core. And then if you have a tank that can hold 2 reels, you want to put a second reel on top. Okay, the reason that it goes like this with the film on the bottom and the empty reel on top is because when you pour all of your chemicals in, you want to make sure that it covers your film entirely. Okay, so if it were like this, it would just cover the empty reel and it wouldn't necessarily touch your film. Okay, so this now goes into the tank, and then you get your funnel. Your funnel, you have to make sure that you turn it and lock it in place. Okay, you lock it like this. If you hear that click, you're good. The last thing that you need to do while you're inside of the bag, or I'm sorry, the second to last thing that you need to do while you're inside of the bag is turn it upside down and shake it to make sure that the top does not fall off. Okay, if you don't lock it, if it was just open, that's what would happen, and that's not something we want. Okay, so okay, and now the very last thing is you get your lid and you put this on top. Okay, so now I'm going to show you what it looks like inside the black bag. Got my black bag here. It has 2 different layers of zippers. Okay, so you need to make sure that everything goes in the inside layer of fabric. Okay, there's an outer layer of fabric and an inside layer of fabric. And there's 2, so that way it is definitely light-proof. Okay, so you need to make sure you're putting everything in. The first thing is your film. That goes in. The next thing is your tank. And then your 2 reels and your core. By the way, when I put my film on my reel, I like to have them separate, so that way it's just easier. Get your funnel, and then your lid. Okay, so these are all in the inner layer. I'm going to close my inner zipper first. And now I'm going to close my outer zipper. Okay. Now I'm turning it around and I'm going to stick my hands through the sleeves. Okay, so you have to do all of this by feel. Are you ready?